When I woke up this morning, there were two videos that I did not think I would be going out there and making. First was the Vladimir Tarasenko getting traded to New York video, that in which we did end up making because, yeah, it happened. But secondly is this video right here. We're talking about a prospect that we already made one video about in the past. We made the Why I Want video back in 2021, I believe it was. And he's a guy that had himself a pretty intriguing profile that separated himself from the rest of the draft class. This was an agitator, a guy with a tremendous amount of bite, so much so that it wouldn't have been out of the question to see a guy like this actually bite someone for real. Okay, no, that's kind of a joke. But either way, this guy was an absolute pest out there on the ice, huge agitator, huge physical presence that didn't really go out there and hold back in any way, while also having some pretty good offensive flair as well. Today we're talking about a player drafted inevitably by the Nashville Predators 27th overall in 2021, Zachary L'Heureux. Because when it comes to this player, there was some news today out of the QMJHL that really is shocking, and it's one of these things that I think you can't really ever expect a guy to do this, because it's so out of left field, and ultimately your response just has to be, why? Zachary L'Heureux, as we had said, was a Nashville Predators prospect drafted in the 2021 draft. 19 years old, 5'11", 196 as a left-handed left-wing center player. He's already signed to his ELC, and this season for the Halifax Mooseheads in the QMJHL, he is on pace for a career-high year. He's got 37 points in 24 games played, and 18 goals in that span as well, matching some of his other seasons' worth of goal totals in a significantly fewer amount of games played. He is on pace for a career high in points at 66 points in 43 games as the projection, and on pace for 32 goals in the process too. He was drafted back when he was an over-point per game player for the Mooseheads in 2021, and ever since then his point production has slowly creeped up and improved over the years. This is the scouting report from Elite Prospects. So much of L'Heureux's game is defined by his physicality. He is an enthusiastic hitter, one who's put more than his fair share of poor opponents into the boards or onto their behinds. He'll get under his opponent's skin after the whistle. He'll fight. He'll mix it up. His problem-solving ability through secondary and tertiary defensive variables lets him make plays where others would struggle to retain possession. Not to mention the fact that he can actually produce points, he can score goals, he can do all that. He's a pretty all-round, dare I say, Matthew Tkachuk-esque type of player. Maybe not with the same offensive flair, but with the same level of bite. Maybe more of a Brady Tkachuk in that respect, actually. Yeah, Brady Tkachuk without the size seems a little bit more fitting. But if we head over to TVA Sports, we can see an article published earlier. When was this from? Aujourd'hui, so earlier today, talking about the latest in Zachary L'Heureux's QMJHL career. I'm going to take this article and translate it from French into English and read it out for you here. Another disgraceful gesture from Zachary L'Heureux? A mother says her 16-year-old son was darted by L'Heureux as he left the rink following a 3-2 loss to the Mooseheads on Wednesday against the Gatineau Olympique. No one was injured, according to testimonies posted on social media. Now, you might go out there and wonder, what in the world does that mean? He darted someone? What? Well, essentially what the word darting means in this context is spearing somebody with your hockey stick. Zachary L'Heureux, apparently, according to reports, might have done this against a fan. The Quebec Major Junior Hockey League would not confirm anything on Thursday, but indicated the Director of Player Safety was analyzing everything. Currently, no footage of the incident has been made public. If the league decides to crack down on the Nashville Predators prospect, it would be the 9th suspension in just over 27 months for him in the QMJHL. He has racked up 27 penalty games so far, including 3 for high-sticking and 2 for unsportsmanlike conduct. L'Heureux has so far tallied 18 goals and 37 points in 24 games played, yada yada yada. He's scored a boatload of points, and it was also drafted by the Predators. Now, I don't really think I need to play sheriff here and tell you that spearing a fan, reportedly, according to what had been alleged by said fan's mother, I don't need to tell you that that's a bad thing to do. And it gets even crazier when you acknowledge that in 27 months, which is just about, 2 years and a bit, the guy's been suspended 9 times. Now, I'm not going to go out there and pretend that Zachary L'Heureux is some saint out there on the ice, but good golly gee, that's a lot of freaking times now, isn't it? especially when it comes to the magnitude of why these suspensions are coming in. 3 games for high sticking, 2 games for unsportsmanlike conduct, and those are only 5 of the 27 total games he has been suspended for in the past. Furthermore, how many games does a guy get if, let's say, they do the investigation and it's figured out that it actually had been a thing where Zachary L'Heureux speared a 16-year-old fan in the crowd? How does that even happen, first and foremost? And secondly, what is the necessary discipline handed out there? I mean, this isn't really like a player-on-player type of thing. This is a player-on-environment type of thing. Not even a player-on-environment, player-on-a-fan. That's very, very odd, if I do say so myself. In fact, there was a tweet made here by Hattie K Scouting. They do stuff for Dobber Prospects. Very good work here done by Hattie all the time. They said this a few hours ago. Reports that Zachary L'Heureux speared a young Gatineau Olympiques fan on his way off the ice after Halifax shootout loss have been confirmed. Wow. The fan he speared is 16, but why would you do that ever? A reply here from Evan says, didn't he already have a history before being drafted, or am I muddling up the francophone prospects from that draft? Hattie replies, he did. Been known to have outbursts and losses of temper. And I don't know, man, I think we all kind of are familiar that losses of temper do occur in hockey. Happens all the time at the NHL level. You see guys banging their sticks, banging their whatever on the goalposts or on the boards. It's kind of a thing that happens quite often, but with the exception of Mike Milbury, you never see NHL people go after fans. And even then, Milbury went after a guy with his shoe, much less his own hockey stick. This is so strange to even be talking about because there's no real analysis to provide. It's just, yeah, no, he did a really bad thing if he did do it, if it is confirmed and it is 100% verified that it did happen. But like, I don't know, man. Nashville Predators fans, you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section about this one. If he does get suspended for this, it will be his 10th suspension in just over 2 years, which I'm no mathematician, but that's a good amount of suspensions to have in the span of only 27 months. So if you're a fan of the Preds, then let me know your thoughts on this player, his prospect profile, his development so far, and what you've been seeing out of his physical side. We had ourselves a few tweets as well made on Twitter by some people that apparently said to have seen the incident go down, and like, I'm not going to go out there and show that just because, you know, Twitter is Twitter, people can say whatever they want, but at the same time, it is quite alarming acknowledging that this story even happened in the first place. So, if you're a Predators fan, thoughts in the comments about L'Heureux. If there were any concerns you had with this player back in the 2021 draft regarding the physicality and the aggression, the suspensions and everything, then please let me know in the comments all your opinions about this guy, especially from back in 2021. We made the What I Want video because I kind of said, hey, this guy could be an absolute game-breaking workhorse for your team. And while I don't doubt that that element is still there, it comes with a lot of loose edges that I feel need to be reined in. And if he did go out there and spear a fan, hey, that happens to be one of them. So, thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.